Hey, it's Aaron here. So in this video, I want to share with you how do I calculate the basic and diluted EPS. So we have a question here, and we're gonna solve that question on Excel. We are given the a question here. It says calculate the basic and fully diluted EPS for Aaron Inc. for the year to December using the information provided below. And we are given net income. We also given the beginning shares outstanding. We also are given the new shares issue on July 31st for 50,000 shares that has been issued. And we also are given the amount of that, which is the convertible debt, and interest rate, tax rate, and we are also given some information about the option. For example, the employee stock option, which is the option compensation, stock-based compensation. Option strike price, average shares price for the period. And we also are told that the footnote specify that the conversion rights embedded in the convertible debt entitle the holders to shares on a one-to-one basis. So that being said, if they convert that debt into shares, then they will get 40,000 shares. Okay, but we want to bring down the net income at first, so we just say basic basic net income here. We know that the basic net income is 22.8. Okay, and then we will say impact from convertible debt. Why we say the impact? Well, you say let's just assume that if they really convert the debt into shares, right? That being said, we can avoid the payment of interest, right? Because there's no interest for shares, right? It's called dividend, but it doesn't specify something like that. But anyway, just like if they convert the debt, then we avoid the payment of interest, which is the coupon, right? And we will add them back. But before we add them back, we still have to pay the tax, right? So we will deduct the tax expense for that amount of money that we just added back, right? So we say, okay, here's the convertible debt here, 40,000, and then we times the interest rate. So that's the coupon that we should pay to the bondholders, right? But since we assume that they all gonna convert the debt into the shares, so we don't have to pay the interest. So we add them back, but we just like deduct the tax expense. So 1 minus the tax rate, which is 30%, and that's the amount of money that you will get, 1,400. But of course, we want the times the period as well. So it's just like for the whole year, so it's 12 over 12. Okay, that's 1,400, right? So we have now we have a diluted net income now, right? And that's the amount of money. It's like in theory, that's the net income. Okay. And now we also want to calculate WASO. So WASO is the weighted average shares outstanding. So we say we got the timing here, and then we also have the shares here, and then the weights, and then the WASO. So for the timing, we want to start it with January 1st, and we know the beginning shares, okay, is 200,000, and then the whole year is 12 months over 12 months, okay. And to calculate the WASO for at the time, you just like times the weight by the shares, okay. And now we know that there are new shares that have been issued by the company on July 31st. So we say July 31st, new share have been issued. So the new share is 50 thousand shares. Okay, and since it's July, so you just use 12 minus 7 months. Okay, it's July 31st. Remember that, and divided by 12, and that's the weight. Okay, so same formula here, copy and paste here. So now we know there's a WASO because there's no more cooperation action here, right? And after that, there's no like there are no information that are telling us the company where the company have a further corporate action. For example, repurchase the shares or issue more shares, right? So we just like, okay, it's time to calculate a WASO. So here's the WASO. WASO is you sum up these two numbers, and then you will get to the WASO. Okay, so it's weighted average shares outstanding. And now we also want to see how many shares can be converted into how many convertible debt can be converted into shares. So we say shares increase from convertible debt. Okay, and that's 40,000. Okay, and then remember it's on a one-to-one basis. So that's the share that just like 40,000 shares since it's one-to-one basis, right? And also we want to calculate the shares increase from options. If the options price is in the money, and then the employees want to exercise the option, right? And we use the formula on Excel. We use equals max, and then we type 0, and then we select the current share price, or here is just like average shares price for the period. So we just assume it's the current share price, and then minus the option strike price. Okay, divided by the option strike price. Divided by the current price or average share price for the period, and then times the amount of the amount of stock options the company have, which is 14,000. Okay, and that's the shares. That's the total share that are converted from option exercise. Okay, so for the weighting here, you can just type 1, or you don't have to do it. It's okay. Now that's the diluted shares if we sum up these three numbers. Okay, but let's calculate the basic shares, basic earning per share first. So we bring down the basic net income, and that's 22.8 thousand, and WASO 220. Okay, now the basic, now we can get to basic EPS, just the net income divided by the WASO, right? That's just a 10 cents. So that being said, for every share the company the company can generate 10 cents. Okay, and then if we keep doing it, here's a diluted net income. We bring down that diluted net income that we just calculated. Okay, and then here's the total. I would say total diluted shares. Okay, so it's like the WASO, so it's like weighted average shares outstanding plus the could be shares, right? Shares from convertible debt, shares come from options, if they are being exercised, right? And that's the total shares, total diluted shares, sorry. So we will get to diluted EPS now, and that's the diluted net income divided by total diluted shares. Okay. Now it seems like, okay. So if we change it into two decimals format, then you will see the diluted EPS actually is smaller than the basic EPS, right? And which is makes sense because the denominators are become bigger, right? So here's how I calculate the diluted EPS and basic EPS. Thanks for watching.